Tesla stock is back again, getting punched in the face Mike Tyson style for the fourth day in a row. We have a lot of exciting breaking news, a lot of interesting developments with Tesla stock that you need to know pretty urgently as a Tesla stock investor. But first, before we get into all of that, if you're curious what we're drinking on today, it's the Tesla tequila. Well, not quite. I'm still trying to get my hands on some of that homemade coffee that is actually almost gone because it's an exciting day if you're buying the dip in Tesla stock that keeps on dipping. Let's get into all of this information. So before we get into the good news and the exciting things happening with Tesla stock today, let's get into some of the bad. At the time of recording this video, Tesla stock is down 1.64%. Pretty ugly day out there. But specifically what is problematic is you're actually seeing a risk on day out there for a lot of stocks that have fallen a lot. Fubo is up 1%. PayPal is up 1.5%. Roku is up almost 3%. Square is up 1.5%. The list goes on. It's actually not a terrible day for your small and mid-cap stocks, but big tech, not doing so well. And Tesla is kind of in both of these categories. It's obviously a large cap stock, but it's a risk-on kind of stock. So it's not a great sign that Tesla is down 1.5% when a lot of other risk-on stocks are actually doing quite well today. It's also not great that the UK's retail sales came in at negative 1.2% month over month. You were expecting negative 0.5%. So it looks like this slowdown in Europe is getting even worse and even slower. Same thing for China. The data that we have gotten recently out of China and Europe looks like both of those areas are not doing well. Europe, as we know, is already in a recession. They've been in a recession for a while. I don't think the markets care about Europe as much because it's already certain that they're in a recession. China, on the other hand, is that going to be a recession? Is it going to be a depression? You really just don't know. What we've also seen out of Japan is Japan's inflation rates are starting to skyrocket as Elon Musk is visiting Japan as we speak. Big question is, what's going to happen to the US? And how do all of these things affect US-based companies? Specifically for Tesla, Tesla is a global company. So it does a lot of business in China. China is not doing well. That's uncertain for the markets, but it's more uncertain for Tesla. And Tesla has been cutting prices. So there's a lot of uncertainty to where margins are going to go. Unfortunately, when interest rates are 5% and you can get over 5% in a 3-month bond, there's not a huge appetite for uncertainty in this market. And investors, they don't care about the next 5 or 10 years as you and I do, and we know Tesla is going to become the most valuable company in the world if things go as planned. There's really no company long-term, 5 to 10 years down the line, can hold a candle to Tesla as far as robotics, full self-driving, energy storage. These things are not going away, and we all understand that. Like, everyone in the markets is on the same page as that, for the most part. There's your ultra bears out there, but I think nobody denies Tesla's going to be much bigger in the future. But the markets are more worried about the next 5 to 10 months and what margins are going to do in the short term. They're not focused on the long term. Again, because interest rates are 5%. And there is an alternative. There used to be a saying called Tina. There is no other alternative. Well, that's not the case in 2023 with bond yields as high as they are. And unfortunately, if I were to make a wild speculation here, Tesla stock has fallen the last 4 days pretty aggressively every single day. It looks like we might get a broader price cut down the line. At least that's what I'm implying from the price action we're seeing with Tesla stock. Tesla stock is basically pricing in another price cut. And if we get another price cut, especially in the US, we're going to have big problems. Again, one of those situations where it's negative in the short term for the stock, but it's positive in the long term because you get more people in Teslas and in Tesla's ecosystem. Then you really just need to retain Tesla owners for the foreseeable future. Next week becomes even more problematic because we're going to have Nvidia earnings on August 23rd, that's on Wednesday, and then on Thursday and Friday, you're going to have the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium. Last time around was in August of 2022. That marked the peak of the bear market rally, and within 2 months, you had hit fresh new lows. This move in the S&P 500 was a drop of about 19% in 2 months. This brings up bad memories. So, these are your two biggest catalysts around the corner. And specifically, Nvidia earnings is a problem. The markets, based on what's happened with Nvidia stock over the last couple of months since Nvidia's last earnings report, markets are, what I believe, fully expecting another huge guidance raise. Anything short of that is not going to be good enough. Nvidia coming out and doing good on earnings, raising guidance a little bit, is not enough. You need another big guidance raise. And I don't think it's enough because Nvidia is like the only one that is benefiting from AI right now. The other earnings we've gotten have not been that great. AMD's revenue, for an example, is down 8% year over year. And Nvidia has really caused a huge rally in the markets. Companies that have nothing to do with AI benefited because of Nvidia's last earnings report. If that turns sour and Nvidia does fall, you could be in for a very big problem in the markets. This should be exciting to all Tesla stock investors. CHP Buttonwillow says, while on patrol this morning, one of our units spotted a few car haulers loaded with some strange trucks traveling northbound on Interstate 5. I wonder what they are. Where are they going? And you guessed it, it is the Cybertruck. If you happen to be curious on where this Cybertruck or these Cybertrucks were spotted, it was spotted by the California Highway Patrol right about here. And I think this is the first example of the what in the world moment is that, where I've talked about this on the channel many times, but when people see the Cybertruck, they are going to ask themselves, what the hell is that? It's pretty straightforward. That is the halo effect that will reach the entire Tesla franchise and boost deliveries and sales in 2024 for literally everything. And that is very bullish, and Wall Street is not expecting it. Believe it or not, Wall Street is expecting Tesla to see its slowest year of growth next year. That's why buying Tesla stock today is hands down the easiest money you could possibly make. 27% delivery growth, less than half of Tesla's target, 29% EPS growth, which is 60% less than what we have seen over the past 3 years, which is around 85% EPS growth. These numbers make no sense, given such a polarizing new product is about to hit the markets. Forget an advertising budget, the Cybertruck is the best advertisement there could be, because whether you love it or you hate it, upon initial glance, you're going to be looking, and you're going to be wondering who makes the Cybertruck. Tesla Economics over on Twitter shared a video that Tesla put out today on their Twitter page highlighting the Tesla HEPA filter capabilities, and they are impressive compared to another standard vehicle. There's literally nothing in there compared to a cabin that is filled with a standard filter. Elon Musk responded and said, yeah, we should probably advertise that more. I would agree. Elon Musk just arrived in Japan for the first time in 9 years. The last time he was there was to finalize the agreement with Panasonic to build Giga Nevada. Any guesses why he's there this time? Let me know down below in the comment section. Why is Elon going to Japan for the first time in 9 years? It could just be to get his hands on some of the best sushi in the world. That would make a lot of sense because sushi is like my favorite food, so I would understand that. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jones on Tesla's price cuts in China. Quote, not only do legacy OEMs have to face tough EV competition in China from the likes of the vertically integrated and increasingly affordable EVs, Tesla and BYD as examples, they also have to reverse the trend of decreasing sales volume, profit, and share in a decelerating domestic market. So kind of saying that there's a problem just in general, that sales are decreasing, but legacy OEMs are going to have a little bit tougher of a problem. Now let's see if we can zoom this in. It's a little hard to zoom these in, but you guys can kind of see right here. The green line is the local players' sales as far as market share. And that's been increasing dramatically ever since about 2020. Local Chinese companies have done well. This blue line is GM share, which has been falling, and Ford's share in China, which is basically non-existent, but has gotten even worse since 2018 until now. Which I think the most interesting part about this is that Morgan Stanley is acting as a financial advisor to Volkswagen, and Morgan Stanley is also acting as a financial advisor to Ford Motor Company. Huh. Really strange. Sawyer Merritt over on Twitter says Tesla's Giga Berlin factory is often criticized for its water consumption. A list of the Ministry of the Environment now shows who the real major consumers are, and Tesla is not one of them. The largest consumer, a local coal factory, uses 44.8 million cubic meters a year, and Giga Berlin uses 1.8 million cubic meters a year of water. Now let me show you the coolest Tesla video that you are ever going to see. Barron's is reporting that Bitcoin's fall recently is a bad sign, and it may point to more pain for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. And guess who everyone is blaming for the crypto crash? Elon Musk. It was reported yesterday that SpaceX recorded 373 million worth of Bitcoin holdings on its balance sheet in 2021 and 2022 and has reportedly sold the cryptocurrency. It hasn't been confirmed whether the entire $373 million stash was sold. So this has a lot of your quote-unquote experts, your hedge funds, institutional managers, money managers, and retail investors wondering, does this latest drop in crypto mean that we can expect more pain in the markets? And the short answer is possibly. As Barron's points out, crypto tends to fall before the markets and recover before the markets. So this would make a lot of sense. Also in the news today, SpaceX reportedly turned a profit in Q1 of $55 million on revenue of $1.5 billion. There's starting to be a little bit more speculation on maybe a SpaceX IPO. That would be pretty dang cool. Gary Black says on Twitter today, or X, whatever you prefer to call it, he X'd on X today. Tesla should stick with the plan MP1. Bring out a great 25,000 to 30,000 next-gen vehicle as soon as possible. In the meantime, act sensibly and try to get more Tesla EVs on the road by convincing non-EV drivers to buy Teslas rather than Camrys or Macans. Macans. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Every $1,000 price cut on Model Y costs Tesla $1 billion a year. Spend $100 million of that on EV advertising. If they need to balance short-term production and orders, discount selected Model Y inventory and not broadly on the configurator. The combined advertising plus inventory discounts would get far more Teslas on the road without destroying valuation. And he tagged Elon Musk, and it does not look like Elon has commented yet, but I think this is important to point out. There's a lot of uncertainty on Wall Street with Tesla stock. Where do the margins bottom? That's what investors care about as interest rates are 5%. Investors don't care about the next 5 or 10 years as you and I might. They care about the next 5 to 10 months. And if there's uncertainty on where margins are going to go, that is spooking investors. So in the short term, a little bit more clarity from Elon would be a good thing and would probably help Tesla stock quite a bit. But I think the next biggest catalyst is the Cybertruck. And I've talked about this before, but when the Cybertruck starts deliveries, I think that's probably the last dip that you're going to see for a while. I expect that would be very positive to Tesla's stock price unless the markets themselves absolutely collapsed. And Tesla does not usually have the best timing. The Model Y was released on March 13th of 2020, and that was during the crash of COVID. Elon Musk is also trending on X in the United States. Why? Because he says that he might disable the block button. This would actually go against Apple's store guidelines and would lead to X's removal from the App Store, which is bad news. Very bad news if that were to happen. But maybe that leads us one step closer to the Tesla smartphone. There could be a positive to anything. Elon Musk reposted this post from Tesla Japan, and to be quite honest, my Japanese is a little bit rusty, so I had to paste this into Google Translate. And it says, Tesla Japan is looking for test drivers to collect vehicle data. We are looking forward to applications from those who are interested in the latest technology and who like driving. And now Elon Musk is in Japan. Maybe there's something coming, or maybe there's a reason for this. Finbold put out an article that says they estimate Tesla receives over 1,000 Cybertruck orders a day. Likely what Elon Musk meant on the last earnings call in regards to Cybertruck demand, saying, quote, Cybertruck demand is so far off the hook, you can't even see the hook. Again, I'll give credit where credit is due. It's impressive. But it is only $100 refundable deposit, so not all of these are going to convert. But likely a vast majority of them will. 60, 70+%. That's great for the auto industry. And just based off of the 1.9 million pre-orders that we're currently seeing for the Cybertruck, which is likely around 2 million at this point, to put this into sheer context, this is more deliveries than what you've seen in 2021, in 2020, and 2019 put together, plus an additional 144,000 on top of it. The amount of pre-orders are insane. And this is before the public even knows about this thing. This could be the best-selling truck in a couple of years, once Tesla can actually bring this up to scale and produce hundreds and thousands of these every year. This is great if you're a Tesla shareholder. Bad news if you're shorting Tesla or if you're a bear. That is everything you need to know for your daily dose of Tesla stock for all Tesla stock investors. Now you are caught up to speed. If you made it to the end of this video or enjoyed the video or learned something at all, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Tyler. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.